This is a real Grande podcast. Presented by A&I Financial. All right, guys, welcome back to the Real Grande podcast. If we haven't met yet, my name is Sam, and we have met. What's up, man?
What's going on?
This is Mr. Scott Clary. He's imported from Canada and from Miami, right? He's in the Valley right now, guys. What are you doing in the Valley right now?
I'm at a conference. I'm at Social Fest. Yeah.
Guys, at the very first Social Fest. Shout out to everyone at Social Fest that put this thing together. It was awesome,
It was
man.
a good conference. For the first one, I didn't think it was the first one. I had no idea.
You wouldn't know, right?
No, it's very good.
Yeah, and you wouldn't know, especially because we had, people of your caliber, man. You know, it's like Scott.
You had School Hard Knocks. You had Neil Patel. You had some big Spanish influencers, and I don't think I know all their names, but there was some big 4 million follower accounts. I'm like, damn, these people are very famous. So you had, for the first ever one, you knocked it out of the park.
Yes, dude. It was. I mean, just. Have you done these for a long time? Have you done yeah?
I've done I'm not a professional speaker. The podcast is what really blew up my personal brand, and that gave me a lot of good speaking opportunities. But I've been to some pretty big events. Okay. So I mean, one of the ones that I speak at every single year is Inbound by HubSpot, and they host that in Boston. And they've sponsored my show, and I've worked with them for a very long time. And I would say that's probably the biggest one that I've spoken at. I've spoken at a whole bunch of smaller ones as well, but just across the board, I think this is one of the best organized that I've ever spoken at. And it was just, it's not even about the organization, which is nice as a speaker, because you're not confused. You're not wondering where you're going to go on. You're not stressed about missing, jumping on stage. Everything was kind of set up well.
Right. I thought so too, man.
But it was also just the energy and the people. It was a good vibe.
Yeah, we even had I forget her name. I think it's Gina Tash. She was there too.
Forget her name. Yeah, she was also there. And
when you have someone like that, it's like, dude, there's no way it's year one, man.
I know. Well, I'm trying to get to her level.
Scott Clary is it might be the fourth year, but Gina Tash, no, I'm kidding. You know what, man? I feel like having fun. So, guys, if you clicked on this video, you probably know who Scott Clary is. But if you don't,
actually, you're not giving yourself enough credit, because people know who you are.
No, this,
yes.
Nah,
I was
having fun, man. Not you. I was
telling people, I don't care. I was telling people, I gotta show you out. I was telling people, I'm going on this podcast. It's a podcast about the city or something, and they're like, oh, I know what show you're going on. I know what people know you in the city. In this, it's not just city. It's what's the area you call it?
The Rio Grande Valley.
Rio Grande Valley.
South Texas.
South Texas.
True South Texas, guys. Because if you're in San Antonio, that ain't South Texas. Dude, it's not South Texas, bro. People think it is, but we're 3 hours.
Am I gonna get haters being like, yo, you went on that guy's podcast talking mad about South Texas?
San Antonio is cool. It's just not, dude. They're north to us, bro. We have to travel 3.5 hours to get there, man.
I get it.
So we are South Texas, by the way. And guys, okay, if you don't know who Scott Clary is, every video that I watched about him, the host introduced him for 5 minutes, but,
oh my God.
But I feel like having a good time, so I'm gonna let you do it, man.
I'm a content creator. That's what I do for a living. So
you're a content
now creator. I'm a content creator. I mean, my 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was working in software, and I was on the sales and marketing side of several businesses. But right now I create content full time. So I have a podcast called Success Story. I have a newsletter that I publish every single week. The podcast has had over the past 6.5 years, 50 million plus downloads.
50 million plus.
I've interviewed some very cool people. Newsletter, content. I probably put out 40 to 50 pieces of content per day.
Per day?
Per day. Today as well. Yesterday, the day before. I have a whole little machine running, and yeah, I'm writer, podcaster, content creator, all that.
What are you more like? What do you know?
That's a really interesting, deep question, because what you identify with, I've thought about this a lot. I don't know if I'm more podcaster or content creator. This is going to sound super corny, so please bear with me. I like to think of myself as a little bit of like an online educator, teacher, somebody that can take information from people that have figured out life, business, and pass that on to people that are just starting out in their careers. So whether or not it is podcasts, whether or not it is newsletter, whether or not it's a 30-second clip on TikTok or Instagram, I don't really care. The goal is to help people that are just starting out figure out how to navigate business, entrepreneurship, life, success, whatever that is. And if they're and I like doing all the stuff that I do. I like writing for a particular reason. I like podcasting for a particular reason. I like everything that I put out into the world. But if there was ever a time when I stopped enjoying it, I would cut off one of those things immediately, and I'd still focus on like, how do I give as much value? How do I teach as many people as possible? How do I take somebody who is right here and then with a little bit of advice or wisdom or expertise, how do I get them from A to B to C to D and hopefully make their life a little bit better? And I get very fulfilled doing that. So whether or not it's podcast, newsletter, content, it doesn't really make a difference to me. It's just that's the end goal that I want to achieve. And I'm very fortunate that I get to do that for a living now.
That's cool, man. You see, and I asked you because, like, guys, Scott Clary, like, this is like an A-list level person.
Please don't say that. I'm not.
And I know, dude, you are, man. Like, it's not.
You're very kind, but I'm not an A-list anything.
He's an A-lister in his space, right? And what he does. By the way, I checked on Apple today, and you are number 6 in the world in education. Like,
yeah,
that's insane, man.
I just learned that after you told me that.
Dude, that is insane. So I have a question for you, but before I ask you that first question, I'm going to have you try this. So actually, Scott's idea was to have him try like...
Which is the dumbest idea I think I've ever had.
He wanted us... He begged me to have him try some Mexican, like, authentic stuff while we're talking.
No. I said I wanted Mexican food. And then you're like,
True.
You want like candy? I'm like,
True.
Yo, for sure. Let's try some candy. And you're like, by the way, it's very hot.
Well,
so,
yeah.
and then I'm like, well, we should just, while we're doing the podcast, we should just eat it live, like hot ones, because that's a hit. And then I'm like, wow, that's a great
exactly
idea, but really stupid because I'm the one who's going to be eating it.
Yeah, and you know, something about content creators, we like to do things that other people haven't done. So I watched a lot of your videos, man.
Well, I haven't done this yet.
You're talking to CEOs, you're talking to like $100 million company guys. And I haven't seen you do this, man. Like, I haven't seen you, hang out with... I'm bringing you down to earth, man, you see? So
and giving me some pudding.
Can I get a fork? Because I guess is there a fork out there somewhere in the world? One side is vanilla, one side is hazelnut. This is a legitimate Mexican...
What's it called?
It's called Duvalin.
Duvalin. Okay, should I try them both at the same time, or should I like mix them? Give me like a little bit of a playbook.
So this Duvalin is like it's usually a 5-year-old eating it, 3 or 5. The kid's not gonna be sorting it or.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm giving you context. So the 5-year-old's not gonna be like sorting it out. He doesn't care.
So I'm less competent at eating this than a 5-year-old.
No, you're much more thoughtful at it. Right?
I'm gonna try. What is it? What is this one?
That's vanilla, guys. Scott is Canadian. He told us.
Oh my God, that's good. This is like icing. It's like icing sugar. It's like when I was a kid, and I used to, like is it Betty Crocker that does like the icing in the can?
Yeah.
The guiltiest pleasure was like just like stealing that shit out of the fridge and just like dipping a finger in, I'm sorry, Mom, and just like eating like pure icing that would go on cake.
That's what that tastes like?
That's exactly what this tastes like.
Okay.
This is like the least healthy thing, I'm sure, that any kid could ever eat because that is straight sugar.
It probably is. Yeah.
It's
so
delicious,
Mexican regulations aren't.
I mean, so we got vanilla on one side. It tastes like vanilla icing. I'm wondering if it tastes like vanilla, Nutella.
That's hazelnut.
This is just vanilla icing and Nutella in like one little package. Okay. This is not even pudding. There's no hint of like nutritional value in this at all.
That was level 1, guys. But don't forget. So there's still a question coming, right? So yeah, you gotta keep it kind of serious, because this is a real conversation, man.
I know.
I'm gonna ask you now.
I'm not messing around. I don't mess with food.
I know, dude. I know. I was like, man, this should be 2 different episodes. I do have a question for you though. A real question. Is a podcaster an entrepreneur?
Yeah. Yeah, the podcast is the product. Media is the product.
A true entrepreneur.
Yeah, for sure, because you're building a company from scratch. Now, whether or not the company is, you're selling software, you're selling lawn care services, you're selling a shirt, you're selling little packets of vanilla icing and Nutella. You're an entrepreneur. You have to build from the ground up. You have to understand what your product is. You have to understand who you're serving, who your audience is, and then you got to sell it to them.
So you've talked to like people, legit businessmen at the highest levels of business. Do they respect podcasters as entrepreneurs?
Yeah.
Is it a respect?
Especially now, people that understand media and understand attention, it's something that everybody's trying to figure out. Because even if you make money in like a traditional way,
He's still tasting it, by the way. Sorry,
I know, it's
have to say
delicious.
that. Yeah, he's like eating as he's talking.
It's very good. That's why I feel like this is the last good thing you're going to give me. So I'm just like savoring it. Even if you make money in like a traditional way, meaning you're not becoming like a media company, you still respect that people like the ability to capture someone's attention is a very valuable skill. So podcasting is just media, meaning a podcaster with an audience is replacing an MSNBC or a Fox or a traditional media outlet or a newspaper or a Super Bowl ad or a TV ad or a TV station. Like you are just replacing media. It's new media. That's all it is. An audience is an audience. So if you've captured someone's attention, that's a valuable asset to have. So maybe somebody built a company with Facebook ads, or maybe they built it by working with influencers, or maybe they built it by, running direct mail to their clients and advertising their services that way. Podcast is media. You build, and podcast is an asset that you can use to build other companies, or it can be the company itself. Does that make sense? It can be either or.
It can't be the company itself.
It can be the company itself.
It is a company in itself.
It is. I make money. I've built a company. I have employees. I have customers. My customers right now are the brands. They want to reach the audience. It's the same thing as how does Facebook operate? You have a whole bunch of people that log into Facebook. You have a whole bunch of people that want to advertise on Facebook to reach their potential customer. Mm-hmm. No one's going to say Facebook isn't a company.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It's media, and it can be used as a marketing vehicle, but at the same time, it's a company itself. Fox is media, BBC is media, MSNBC is media, but they're also companies.
So the podcast can be at the exact same level, right? Actually, it's probably higher now, right?
So it depends on how big it is, but Joe Rogan gets more impressions than basically all major U.S. news outlets, if I'm not mistaken, combined, which is pretty wild.
That is insane.
So that's CNN, Fox, MSNBC, and Joe Rogan got more impressions than them during like the last presidential election.
Yeah, so I mean,
so they definitely respect it. And a lot of them are trying to figure out how to create it, because once you build a business and you sell it, okay, great. But then like, how do you build the next one? You have to start from scratch. Not if you have an audience.
Which is where the podcast comes. Mm-hmm. Did you know? Okay, so
and that's why the biggest creators right now, the Mr. Beast of the world, are able to start companies and launch products because they have media, and then they can use that media to launch different entrepreneurial ventures. Right?
I see what you're saying. Did you know? So right before we started recording, Miss Gina Tash here was telling us that she has a. Can I shout out your? You want to shout it out for us? The name of her.
She runs My Therapist Says, which is another media company. But
exactly.
Instagram, not podcast.
Yeah. So she was telling us that My Therapist Says, when they started it, it's a meme account, but she was telling us that they started it already thinking of it as a business. Did you start your podcast thinking of it as a business?
No, I didn't do it. So I'll explain what I mean. I didn't start it off as a business, meaning I thought it was going to be the main thing to make money. I thought I was going to start it off and use it to launch a business. Meaning I thought I was going to start the podcast, build an audience, and then figure out some product or service that I could sell to the audience. And I still can do that. But I didn't start it off with the podcast being the main business. The podcast was supposed to be the marketing vehicle that would help another business grow. But it turned into the main business because it became very successful and popular. What Gina did with My Therapist Says is she also started off My Therapist Says as a business, meaning she wanted My Therapist Says to make money. She wanted My Therapist Says to, attract advertisers and make money in whatever way. But both of our approaches, I think, are still a little bit more, how do I say it? I think they were a little bit more calculated, not in a bad way, but in like a, we know what the end result, we know what the end result should be. We know where we want to go with this thing. I think a lot of creators are creative first and business second. So they enjoy what they're doing. They enjoy making content, but they don't understand, how can I use this thing to make money?
Is it supposed to be like that?
I don't think it makes a difference. I think that it just means that you got to learn one thing or the other. If you're a business person, then you got to learn how to be creative and build an audience and capture attention. If you're a creative person, then great, you're good at capturing attention, but you got to figure out a way to turn that attention into actual revenue. So it doesn't really matter, but most people don't start with both skills. Most CEOs are not necessarily great creatives. Some are, of course, but not everyone. And most creatives are not necessarily good business people. So you got to learn, I mean, this is life. You have your strengths, but you also have to understand your weaknesses.
Did you learn that after the fact, or is that something you knew going into it?
I kind of knew that going into it because, again, I wasn't like a creative that was starting a business. I wasn't a business person that was trying to be creative. I was somebody that was a business person that very thoughtfully created this like creative media asset that could be used to start other businesses, but just it ended up turning into the main thing.
That's insane. And that happened by itself, like through like the evolution, like it turned into the main thing?
It turned into the main thing because as I was building it, I was still being an entrepreneur and trying to start different business ideas. But as I was building it, it kept gaining traction and was more and more successful. And then the thing about media is if you're successful at it, what happens if you generate a lot of attention, people find you.
Okay. I have another question.
Advertisers find you, and then you understand how to grow it.
We've been talking a little bit too much, though. That's a little bit of a problem here. So we're gonna step this up a notch. This type of chip, put it in front of the camera a little bit.
See?
This type of chip is very, very well known in the Mexican community.
Like it already looks hot as hell.
Yeah. Well,
it's like red.
I don't know.
Red, and there's like a spur that like none of this looks like this doesn't look hot.
Yeah, I was starting out, dude. I was trying to
But you know, with hot ones, they there's like steps, right?
Yeah, well, this isn't hot ones, and this is the thing. This is a problem. This is a problem that I have with, man. I don't know you're like hot.
Yeah, but you have to know what's like more or less hot.
Well, yeah, this is not as hot as.
No, I'm so done.
Yeah, I just don't know what you're like. I don't have any context for what you're hot.
This Nutella was hot for me. Okay,
okay, there we go. Okay, then this is gonna burn. Like, I'm gonna put some chips on his traditional plate right there.
Right.
So this is basically like.
I wonder if I dip them in the Nutella if it gets a little bit more. No,
I don't think you want to do that, man.
Well, we'll see. The second one is getting dipped in
my
the
ancestors would be mad at that. If
you don't even use plates, you've already pissed them off.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So try that out. Tell me what you think of it. Like,
it tastes very good.
He doesn't even know like what the flavor is. Like, I didn't even tell him, but that's.
It's not that hot.
It's not that hot.
No, it's not that hot.
Supposed to be like. That's kind of just like.
I'm so scared though. Like, I'm so scared. Like, I feel like it's going to be like hot, but in 45 seconds, your mouth explodes or something.
Yeah, so instead of Fritos, you have that, Like, that's kind of like a...
This is actually very good.
You like it?
I like it. And it has like a little pepper.
Yeah. It's a...
Queso y chile jalapeno. Does that mean like cheese and like jalapeno peppers?
That's exactly what it means, dude. Queso,
Listen, I don't know any Spanish words, but like I know cheese in every language.
Yeah, that was not bad. Okay, yeah. So now, yeah, that's kind of just like.
Okay, that was very good. It would not go with the vanilla or the Nutella though.
No, it wouldn't, dude. It's too hot. Yeah, but I mean, it's not too hot, but it's just not in the same world. So let me. What was I gonna ask you?
I feel like this is ASMR.
Oh, you know what? We're gonna pass this around. Okay, next question.
I use a fork if somebody wants to eat this delicious little icing.
You said that the businesses were like failing and the podcast wasn't. Why did the podcast keep growing when side businesses were failing?
I think it was because my attention was spread out. Podcast was the thing I enjoyed the most, and I put the most energy into it. And when something else wasn't working, I would default back to putting all my energy into the podcast. For something to be successful, to be an entrepreneur, to build anything, it is really hard to casually build it. And I'm not saying you can't casually get it off the ground, because I am a fan of like building something and having a side hustle while you're working in your job. But I think that it's really hard to casually make something really, really successful. So I think that you got to start it, you got to get some traction, and then you got to go all in on it. But the issue was I was already all in on something that I didn't want to leave. So the idea of, not quitting your job and starting a side hustle, then turning the side hustle into the business works because you don't really want to stay with your job. You want to quit your job. You want the side hustle to be the full thing. I enjoyed the podcast so much because it gave me all these ancillary benefits outside of just making money, which is important, but ultimately not really the main goal in life, right? You can make money in a lot of different ways, but it was like the connection with people, sitting down with cool entrepreneurs. It put me on stages and got me speaking gigs. Like it was like a really fun thing to build. So I just gravitated more towards that. And the other things that failed, I say failed because I just didn't keep building them. It's not like there were these like horrendous blow ups and like bang. No, just like start something, try it, don't love the idea, kill it. Start something, try it. Maybe I'm building it with like the wrong business partner. I don't enjoy this. It's not going to be a long-term thing for me, kill it. And I think that also it's very hard to build multiple things simultaneously successfully. Now, if the podcast or any of the businesses were running and I had hired people and they were sort of like completely just autonomous and running on their own, yeah, then you can start something else. I mean, like there's very, very successful entrepreneurs that have multiple businesses that they all own at the same time, but it's just hard to start multiple things at the same time and make all of them successful. And I think that this is, like, listen, I talk a lot about shiny object syndrome and obsessing over one thing, and it's easier to say it than to do it. Because when you're an ambitious person, you always want to take a shot at the next exciting thing. And it takes a lot of self-control to turn things down that are good but not great ideas.
So was it ambition that was like driving you to start other side projects, even though the podcast was already...
1,000%. Okay. 1,000%.
But that's a good thing though, no?
It is. It's a personality trait of an entrepreneur. Like the personality trait, this is a very interesting idea. The things that make an entrepreneur successful can also make them unsuccessful. So the ability for somebody to see an opportunity and to go after it and try and make something, like what an entrepreneur does is they take nothing and they turn it into something, which is a really cool idea. There's nothing there's no business, and you just take it and you turn an idea and a concept into something that hires people, makes money, like exists. Like that's like a really cool phenomenon. But somebody who does that, they see opportunity everywhere. They just naturally see, I would, they'll be listening to a podcast, like, oh my God, light bulb moment, cool idea. I want to try that out. They see a new shiny object. They go after it. It dilutes their attention. And after they go after that shiny object, then neither of the things are getting the attention that it deserves or is required to build it. So the ambition and the tenacity and the just taking massive amounts of action, which are all requirements to be a successful entrepreneur, if applied towards one thing, also in rare occasions get the entrepreneur to try to build a second thing or a third thing or a fourth thing, because those same personality traits that got them involved in the first thing and excited about the first thing makes it very easy for them to get excited about 5 more things, and they end up sabotaging themselves.
Okay.
So a lot of unsuccessful entrepreneurs, people that have all these personality traits and go after it, really, a lot of the unsuccessful ones, the reason why they're unsuccessful is because they can't rein themselves in. They can't control themselves. They can't control their ambition, and they can't funnel it towards one thing. Where if they just funneled it towards one thing and stopped trying new things, they would be actually very successful at that one thing. And I'm sure that anybody who's listening to this who does have an entrepreneur friend knows somebody that is doing like 5 or 10 different things simultaneously. And it's not like they're broke and homeless.
Yeah.
It's like they're making a little bit of money at all of these things, but they're not making a lot of money at one thing. And that's where I think that focus and obsession and like putting blinders on and just like lasering in on that one thing that you want to build, that's what is required. And I think that, I mean, I'm telling you this knowing full well that I did not live by my own rules that I'm trying to preach over to people. But at this point, I've stopped everything else and I'm all in on the one thing that I actually enjoy, that I want to keep growing.
Okay. And
you can, by the way, just one more thought on this. Sorry.
Yeah. He's trying to avoid the next hot thing.
No, I'm not. I'm getting into it because it's so...
He got me.
It's very personal to me because I recognize that I've been so distracted over the past year. But I think this is something that a lot of entrepreneurs can resonate with.
Yeah.
When I say that you want to focus on one thing, it doesn't mean you can't expand that one thing. Meaning, like right now, I'm thinking of ways to expand the revenue with the podcast. So how do I add on different revenue streams to the podcast? One of the things that I'm thinking of right now, because there's many ways you can do coaching, consulting. I've actually, I'm pretty serious about starting an agency, actually investing into an existing agency that does personal brand work. So that's a nice add-on, right? If I have a podcast, I built my own personal brand, it would be easy for me to say, hey, I also own a piece of an agency that does this for people. Like it's not that different. It's like the podcast can act as a funnel and help the second thing grow a little bit easier. The issue that I was having was I was having the podcast over here, and then I would be building a supplement company over here, or a networking mastermind, or I was trying to do some angel investing, or I was trying to put together a private equity firm and raise money. I was doing all these things that didn't have any connection to the podcast.
Separately.
So separate.
Where the podcast couldn't funnel.
It couldn't funnel, it couldn't help, it couldn't add on, it couldn't. And so like you only have so much focus in a day. You really, and it's very difficult to like constantly be switching and still be as on and effective and creative, and it's almost impossible.
Yeah, so you have to start things that are going to be directly connected. Like
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that even like this is why I hate the idea of, people will say like, well, diversify your income. Nobody who's made a lot of money diversifies when they're building their first thing. Even the people that tell you to diversify, like the Warren Buffetts of the world, they had one very specific investment thesis that he followed religiously until he made enough money to invest in other ideas. Every entrepreneur you know that now has like 12 different income streams, they made their money with one thing. They put all their focus on one thing. And yeah, you know what? After you have $100 million exit, you can invest in real estate and stocks and crypto and all these other, and now you have this diverse, but nobody makes a lot of money splitting their time and attention across a lot of different things.
You diversify later. Once you
have some money to diversify with.
Yeah.
Even if you are like investing, how do you become a good investor? In my opinion, to become a good investor or a good entrepreneur, you have to have an unfair advantage at what you're doing. Like building a business is tough enough. So how do you have an unfair advantage with the business you're building or with the asset that you're investing in, whether or not it's stocks or crypto or real estate or whatever? You have to be studying it 24/7. You have to be obsessed with it. Like if you want to be a good investor, who's going to be a better investor? An investor that does nothing but study Section 8 homes in this particular part of the country, and that's all they read about, that's all they learn about, that's all they focus on, that's all they look for, and they live and breathe Section 8 homes. That's one example of an investment class you could put money into, versus somebody that doesn't know much about Section 8, doesn't know much about multifamily, doesn't know much about Bitcoin, doesn't know much about Vanguard ETF, doesn't know much about stocks, bonds, 401k, and just spreads their money everywhere. Who do you think is going to have outsized returns and an unfair advantage? The person that lives and breathes the thing. And it could be Section 8, it could be crypto, it doesn't really matter. You get the point.
That makes sense, man. When you say it like that.
But that's the thing. Like people like try to diversify and they don't understand anything, and then they get subpar returns, they subpar results because they don't diversify.
Too early then. It's about diversifying too early.
Yes.
That's where the issue is. Not the diversification in general.
No, it's diversifying before you even have anything to diversify with.
Okay. So guys, if you've ever felt overwhelmed by money decisions, you are not alone. Let me introduce you to A&I Financial. They work with people here in our community to bring clarity to life's big money questions. Whether you're planning for retirement, your next business move, or everyday life, check out AIFinancialstrategies.com first to schedule your complimentary discovery meeting to get started on real advice that delivers real results. That's AIFinancialstrategies.com, where your vision becomes a plan. So huge thanks to HKC Law Firm for supporting our community. Hitesh is from the Valley, for the Valley, and he's ready to help you right now. At HKC Law Firm, it's never about a check. Your well-being comes first, every time. When you need a personal injury or criminal defense lawyer, search hkclawfirm.com. You know what, baby? Can you bring that slice of watermelon? So I want to tell you, man. Like there's a lot of candy here. You know, we fed him some Mexican food, but you know,
they're delicious. By the way,
we like to eat healthy too, man. We like to eat healthy.
This is not healthy.
So we got you some watermelon. But then we added some razzle dazzle.
You are totally in the shop.
I know, like, that's okay, baby girl. Can you
I
bring
could have gotten it.
Can you bring the apple soda too, baby? The apple soda. Thank you. So this is a slice of watermelon.
It's so wild how watermelon isn't hot at all, yet there's a suspicious sauce
So
on
Ali cut him like half a pound slice of, of
Yeah,
this
like
watermelon.
I'm gonna feel like a watermelon if I eat everything here.
So that's chamoy. So you had never heard the word chamoy before, right?
No, because I probably wouldn't eat it if I knew what the word meant.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know what the word. No, chamoy is like what it meant. No, you got me thinking about definitions now. I don't know that what it.
I'm not the one
chamoy
insulting
means-
your ancestors.
I know,
You don't.
right? Chamoy means flavor, man. So we put chamoy like on.
I think
on
you're a
fruit.
liar.
Yeah, we put chamoy.
Chamoy
on
means
fruit.
flavor.
No, like not literally, but
Does it mean like spiced from hell or something like that?
yeah, it probably means something like that. Yeah, the Aztecs
Means flavor. Okay.
Yeah, it's Latin root.
I can't wait for a watermelon with flavor sauce.
Yeah, the root for chamoy is cham, which means pain in Vietnam. No, I don't know what I'm saying. But what I know that I'm saying is that this is super delicious, bro. Like
Water.
That's
I do.
chamoy. Chamoy and watermelon is one of the like classic ways to go. Like,
Is it actually?
Yeah, like, and you don't have to be a
Wait, you
5-year-old.
say classic ways to go? Like
Yeah,
die?
yeah. Eventually. No, dude, that is like the best. There are people like
Oh, that's good.
all over Mexico that are eating that right now. What do you think? Like, what do you think about like the chamoy with the sweetness of the watermelon?
It's good, actually. It's not hot.
It's not hot. And actually that one's called picosito, which means a little bit hotter than the average one.
It's not hot.
Picoso means hot. So picosito, anytime
Like
it
a
says
little bit of
ito-
hot.
Yeah, anything ito is like a little bit.
It kind of tastes like it'd be good as a barbecue sauce too. I feel like I'm insulting somebody, but I don't care. I'm just saying what's on my mind.
Is there like spicy Korean sauce or something like that? It could be.
Yeah,
Spicy
it's like it could be
barbecue.
it could be like a fire dip.
It could.
This is good watermelon, by the way.
I'm gonna let him say all that. Yeah, so I'll let him say all of that.
Oh,
Yeah,
there goes my what is it? Is it Mexican audience or did I just
Yeah.
insult all of like
I don't know,
Latin
man.
America?
Yeah. Again, I'll let the comment section do that for us, man. Yeah, that's the beauty
Well,
of,
you know
of
what?
the internet.
I like it, whatever it is. So don't be offended if my analogies are shit. One time, I walked into an Italian. It was like a bakery, but they made like sandwiches, and
Oh,
they had
cool.
all these different beautiful Italian breads, all these beautiful Italian meats and cheeses, and you would tell the guy like what you wanted on your sandwich, and he'd like make it in front of you, like behind
Subway.
like. So I said, this is like an Italian Subway, and he's like, get the out of my store.
Oh man.
He was like very
yeah.
offended.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that though.
So
Because
I'm just saying that my analogies, I mean well.
Yeah.
It's coming
should've
from a
done
place
this.
of love.
You should have said this.
He would have slapped me.
as you were saying it,
Yeah.
dude. No, like to give him a little kiss on the cheek, Like,
He would have given me like a fist in the eye.
Yeah. So that's the right way to eat watermelon.
So far,
other
there's a delicious dessert.
Thank you. I appreciate that from all
I'm
of
really
us
sorry
down
if
here in South
listeners are getting me chewing.
No, that's cool, man. It's cool. That's what it's all about. So I want to ask you now something else. A little bit, not completely out of the conversation that we were having. I thought about this earlier. So your wife runs like I mean, that's not the only thing she does, but like I'm thinking about like the meme account, right? And you have a podcast. Have you ever dealt with like haters, like people like with hate, not haters, but hate? Like,
Well, the hate comes from someone.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's because you don't have to be a hater to hate, right? Like, that's my thing with road rage. Like, you don't have to be an idiot to do an idiotic thing. Like, maybe he's not an idiot. Maybe he just what he did was
Yeah,
idiotic.
like don't make his whole identity.
Yeah, like
And then- I'm sure they also have like other parts to who they are.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true too.
But
like,
I get a lot. Not like I say that as if I'm like a really controversial person. If you post online, you're always going to get people to disagree with you. Even if it's motivational, even if it's educational, somebody's having a bad day. They read something that you post and they interpret it through their lived experience and their life. And then they manufacture this story about why you're a bad person for posting this thing, which they just saw at the wrong time because in their world, it triggered something about somebody dumped them or they got fired or whatever. And if you just reach enough people, a small percentage of those people will naturally be people that are just going through shit and just hate whatever you put out, even if it is very positive, very educational.
No matter what it is.
No matter what it is, someone's going to say, like, listen, I've had hate because somebody, like, a lot of my content is about, like, I mean, talking about like perseverance and entrepreneurship, and I won't be able to think of an example. If I go into my Facebook, I'll be able to give examples for sure. A lot of people on Facebook are grumpy as hell. I don't know, maybe that's something about the Facebook audience, but
the keyword grumpy.
Yeah, very grumpy. But it could be just something so harmless, and somebody will just take it the wrong way, and they'll be like, "F you," like screw you for. Let me go find an example. I'm not going to be able to read one. I'm not going to be able to think of one. But I have daily hate. Daily hate. Yes, daily.
But it's not. But it's hate like disagreeing with you, right?
Disagreeing with a 200 character thought that obviously is like a motivational thought or a piece of wisdom or something. Yeah, for real. And people could even be like, this is a stupid, dumb platitude. I hate your content. It's so vanilla. Or if you have more of an opinion, you could be like, wow, this is the most offensive shit that I've ever read. I've had hate for every reason under the sun. I've had hate because I talk about money, because I talk about business, because I talk about entrepreneurship. Oh, you're entitled, you're privileged. Not everybody has it as fortunate as you, as lucky as you, blah, blah, blah. I've had death threats. I've had people trying to extort me for money. I've had everything.
Extort you?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, not like...
I like how you specified for money, like you could have...
Yeah, I mean...
Anyway, yeah.
No, I've had people say like, hey, I know your address. I know where you live. If you don't wire me or don't send me like $5,000 in Bitcoin, I'm going to come after you. Like,
because of the status, right? Because
people are great a little bit.
but
are like, it's not like you are tapping into like millions and sometimes tens of millions and 100 millions of people.
Yeah, true.
Some people are just nuts and off.
I'm gonna give you some perspective though. I'm gonna give you some perspective here. That's respect hate though. Because like they're hating on you because because you're at a level like where you can be hated. Like, because that's not hate. Like, that's not hate. Like, all that, like, get a real job.
No. Listen, if you get no hate, that means you're reaching nobody.
Never thought about it that way.
That will be the case. Even if it's not hate, like I'm talking about some pretty dark stuff. Say you are talking about different businesses in the valley, right? And you have a strong opinion and you love one business and you're like, this is the best whatever. This is the best watermelon and barbecue sauce I've ever had in my entire life.
Uh-huh.
I know, I see I'm going to piss people off.
You like
I do a little bit. But what's going to happen is you're going to have somebody that's like, no, that's the worst watermelon barbecue sauce I've ever had. And you're an idiot for having that opinion.
Could continue, but you're going to have this now. This is a different type of...
Oh my God.
Tamarindo, so that's how you eat it. Like, like you can do it with a fork, but yeah, you're just gonna have it by itself. That's not barbecue sauce. But you're not allowed to continue unless you...
Well, I'm trying to find, like, I don't even know why some people are just angry people. I'm just trying to find...
But that is respectful though, because like, do you ever have people did you ever have a time when you were disrespected because you're like, you just like do a podcast, like you don't have like a real career or anything like that? Like, did you ever run into that? Or like you only have like, you have a meme account, like that's not a real job type of deal? Like,
well, I don't know. Do you get that?
No, like that never happened?
No. I think
Or did you not ever listen to it?
First of all, I don't listen to it at all. I've never really cared what anybody thinks about me at all. That is fortunately, I think it's because I had a great upbringing. And I have a lot of self-confidence, and I think that that's something that I am very privileged to have. Like, I don't get that. I don't want to say that that's not like a blessing, that I don't really care about what other people think about me, because that can be really debilitating if you do care about what everybody says about you, thinks about you. I also think that over time you get a little bit numb to it. And again, I am not a controversial content creator. I am like somebody who tries to teach and tries to educate. But whether or not it comes built into your personality, or whether or not it's something that you just adopt this mindset of really not giving a shit, like over a period of time, just through almost developing almost like a I don't even know, like a mental callus to it a little bit. If you are going to be a content creator, you have to get to the point where you just don't care. It will
from the beginning.
It just is a requirement of a content creator, because when you put yourself out there, when you generate attention, whatever you do, there will be somebody who disagrees with you. And you will be the villain in someone's story for whatever reason.
Comes with the territory then.
Are you going to be the villain in my story after I try this?
That's not enough, man. What is that, dude?
What is that? That is a quarter of a water bottle. That is a quarter of a water bottle beside my feet amount of random thing I'm putting into my mouth. I'm gonna see what this is.
What is it? He doesn't even know what he's eating, man. This is fun. I'm just not gonna tell him anymore. Like people watch.
I don't have a choice. No,
you don't really have a choice.
So what am I? What does it matter?
That's called tamarindo, by the way. Tamarind is an actual like.
Is it a fruit?
Yeah.
It tastes like a pureed fruit.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's literally what it is.
I can't think of a single thing that I would have eaten growing up that is like similar to this.
Like you can't compare it to anything?
I'm really trying, but I can't think of anything.
Can you get this up? Can you bring the apple?
Have I lost like every single person that speaks Spanish? Will never listen to my content again after this episode if they see it?
No, because you're talking to me, but I don't help very much because
you don't even use
plates. Don't listen to me either. Yeah,
it's hot, but it's not like I'm not dying.
So everyone in the Hispanic culture would be upset at me if I didn't have you try this. So you're gonna try this.
Okay, I'm gonna be so mad if this isn't chocolate.
It's a lollipop. You can tell it's not. It's breaded, like it's not. It's marshmallow. It's marshmallow is what it is.
Saddest looking little smiley.
It's a smiley face. Yeah. Well, it used to be.
Oh, delicious.
That's like one of the most like popular.
This is absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
You know what it tastes like?
He likes it, guys. He likes it.
I like. Actually, it's a point. I like all of the food you gave me so far. I just don't understand the purpose of this. Like, this should go with something else.
No, you just eat that by itself.
But everything, I'm just saying, it feels weird to eat it alone.
Yeah. Well, I'm kidding. No, yeah, the people just eat it by itself, man.
You know what this tastes like?
I'm gonna give you the next one.
Okay, what? So I don't know if you ever, I don't even know if they have these in the U.S.
He's Canadian, by the way, guys.
Do you know what a Viva Puff is?
No.
Okay.
I don't smoke.
You know what a Viva Puff is? No. Joe Louis. Don't smoke.
I don't smoke. Viva Puff? What is that?
No, dude? It's a cookie, bro.
Like a puff pastry.
No, I'm gonna show you.
I don't smoke, for all the sponsors out there that are listening to this. Yeah. There's not a tattoo on my body. I'm kidding. Well, there isn't actually. Viva Puffs. Okay.
They're delicious cookies.
Oh, they're cookies.
They're a graham cracker. Yeah.
I called it Joe Louis.
Bro. I love it.
So this is to help This is to help clear your palate. This is.
It's definitely not, but whatever.
This is.
It's like fermenting at the top.
It's like classic, authentic apple soda.
And I'm not done describing Viva Puff and the why I brought it up with this marshmallow.
I've never seen that before, man.
It's a graham cookie cracker.
What does Viva mean?
Like life, I guess.
Oh, yeah. It means live, but
life.
Yeah,
Okay.
Life is vida.
Vida. Well, it's also, I think, like almost in all languages, there's like not all languages, but in many languages, that is a version of like life, live, whatever.
Yeah. Live life, love, laugh.
No, not so much. But it's graham cracker, and then it's like,
oh, okay.
The top of it is literally this.
Oh, okay. So you've had that before.
Graham cracker cookie. It tastes the same.
All right. Well, you liked it, right?
It's
you liked it.
And marshmallow.
So have you not liked anything?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
I think the thing that people won't like is my descriptions of the food.
Do you have anything you want to ask him? You have any question? I can ask you here, but if you don't, it's okay.
Or eat mine if you don't want a whole one. It's a lot.
Viva Puff packaging look the same.
Very good.
So have a little bit of this because I need to clear your palate real quick.
What is floating in this drink?
Oh, that's ice, bro. That's ice, man.
Is that ice?
Yeah, that's ice.
Oh, I thought it was like part of the drink.
Oh, no, dude. We're not that fancy.
If you give me a Mexican tequila with a worm, I'm not drinking it.
Oh, yeah. Imagine, dude, I tell him that's what that is. You would die with that for sure.
This is also good.
That's apple soda. That's like that brand is like
This
Coca-Cola
is
of Mexico.
I'm so scared because you're like, oh my god, it's all so spicy. Is this like just like trying different foods?
Dude, I have mercy, man. Like I have mercy on my peeps.
I
really do. have mercy on my peeps.
You got to try. This is delicious.
It's actually really good, honestly.
This is so good.
So I'll tell you guys, he actually really enjoyed the Mexican Coke off camera too. You like that one, right? Yeah. Are you a Coke fan?
Yeah, I am, and it tastes really good and not over sweet.
So taste a little bit of that while I'm thinking of my next.
Next question. Okay.
Yeah,
I like this strategy though. Like it keeps the guest distracted. Like I'm a toddler. Like you keep giving me these little toys, and you're like, "Oh,
I'm thinking of you,
figure
bro.
out how to open."
I'm not thinking about the audience.
Muecas chamoy. While I think of my next question.
Yeah. And I can't. I mean, I can't have you on for too long. I don't want to make it's like a super long episode. So I'm trying to like think of something. Like I'm trying to decide between the two questions that I have.
By the way, for everybody who's offended by how I've just pronounced that, I learned French in school, not Spanish.
Yeah, so. He learned French. Like he took his exams in French, dude. I had a hard time taking my exams in English.
There's no Spanish in Canada.
Yeah, there's
not
no
really.
Spanish in Canada.
I mean, like French
really.
is like the second language.
I heard that French is like the second language.
It is. It's the second official.
Dude,
language.
I'm just saying everything you're saying, and he hasn't even caught on to that.
Oh,
you're looking for Are you looking for the ingredients? Dude, that's cheating, bro. Then just eat it, man.
Okay,
I'm not gonna poison you.
I can't even read it if I wanted
dude,
to.
Man, now I feel bad.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to read the ingredients. I was trying to figure out how to eat it without looking like an idiot.
Oh, it's a lollipop. Oh, that's my bad. I'm sorry, man. It's a lollipop.
So you lick it and you dip it in, and then like you take like.
Oh yeah. Well, no, like close it again. Shake it. And then, yeah, there we go. Sorry, my bad, man. That's my bad. Just don't make eye contact. Yeah, exactly. So they just lick you. Yeah, so you do that. Okay. And then, then you shake. Yeah. Shake it up, razzle dazzle. And then you have some.
Okay, cool.
Say,
I also had things like this as a kid that were like a lollipop that you like dip in like some like sugary salt or something.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Next question. Immediately as he's trying it.
Let me see. That's good.
Is it?
It's very good.
Is that strawberry?
Ish.
Yeah, actually, I think I got that for your wife. Because I got two, and I was like, I think she's feeling more purple today because the other one was red. Yeah,
it's like, so everything you've given me has like a hint of spice.
Yeah. So
like candies that I ate growing up had like zero hint of spice. It was like straight sugar, like injected intravenously into your veins.
Yeah. Because I'm giving you the fun candies, like where the kid wants to like not die, you know? Like
no, I know. Like I the only reason why I'm so like cool with all this stuff is because I feel like it's in these like fun little bags, and if they were actually like really really hot, like the bags wouldn't be so fun because some kids gonna. Maybe I'm wrong though.
I'll tell you something. My background is in healthcare, so I genuinely care like about you like not dying. You know, like I don't want you to have like an ulcer.
Yeah,
I'm having mercy on you.
I appreciate you.
Like I have like.
This is good though.
Some firepower, you know, but I also want you to enjoy it, you know, because I don't want him to like never come back to the valley. Yeah, so I'm getting some inclinations so that I might have the green light to bamboozle you with some spice, but I need your brain to work because I have another question.
My brain's still working. This has been very chill so far.
Okay, next question. Why do you have 50 million downloads and everyone watching has 10?
I think I have a lot of downloads because I put in a lot of reps. I think that's really the answer. I think that
you truly mean that. Like
I genuinely mean that.
Like it's just you and me talking right now.
I have over 1,000 episodes uploaded on my main feed. I have tried to start about 4 or 5 other podcasts and killed them because they didn't work.
Okay.
I do have a second podcast that has about 600 episodes on it, which is shorter solo stuff. So just in terms of podcast content, I've tried a lot of shit. On YouTube, I think I have over 6,000 videos that I've uploaded at some point. They're not all public, but I've tried to upload everything from podcasts to me talking. I've hired people to create content for my YouTube. I've done shorts. On Instagram, I don't even know, like I have 3,000 or 4,000 posts on I don't even know how many. I have thousands of posts on my Instagram. Newsletters, my current newsletter with my main list, that is the 4th newsletter I've tried to build, excuse me. And every single time I take a shot at it, it's not just like 1 or 2 newsletters that I send before I kill it. It's like several hundred that I send before I'm like, I don't like this idea, I'm going to kill it. My point is, I have put out such a ridiculous amount of content, and I just learn from every single piece that I put out. It's like really not rocket science. When you live and breathe content, and you put, and I told you before, I'm putting out 30, 40, 50 pieces a day now of things that I know work. That's not including all the stuff that I've done over the past 6.5 years that hasn't worked. So when you take that many shots and when you put in that many reps, you start to figure out what works and you start to move towards that. And I don't think I just don't think people take that many shots.
Would you say that like it's not that hard that people start doing it? Would you agree with this? Like, so it really is about the repetition. Like you just, like eventually something's going to stick.
Something will stick. And this is not just me. This is any creator. Go to any creator. Some creators delete the stuff that doesn't work. But if you go to most big creators who keep the stuff on their account, if you go like, you can go on YouTube and you go from like oldest to newest and you filter that way on people's YouTube accounts, you can see all the types of stuff they've tried.
Yeah.
Just see it and you'll see how much it sucked at the beginning. I think I said this, I don't know if I said this stat on stage or if I said it in one of the breakout sessions or I said it somewhere, but if you publish more than 10 podcast episodes, you're like a top 1% podcaster, which is a wild stat. Like that's insane. 10 episodes in your top 1%.
Yeah.
That means out of the, I don't even know, 30 million plus podcasts.
So everybody's quitting.
Everyone's quit.
So the highest level of content creators, they don't, are you telling me that they don't feel like themselves? Like you don't feel like you're a genius. You just feel like you're a hard worker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Because everyone's seeing the highest content creators like they're geniuses.
But they're not.
They don't even feel like that themselves.
They don't feel like that themselves. They don't.
Really?
No. They literally just learned from doing so much content. James Dumlin from School of Hard Knocks, he said he published 400 videos, and on his 400th video, he only had 50 followers on Instagram.
Dang. See, that's tough though, man. Because it's
bro, like, most people don't even post 400 videos as a creator ever.
Yeah, but then how do you know like if you suck or you just haven't done enough? Like, because you like
but it's never that you just suck. It doesn't exist. It is always that you just haven't done enough.
It's never that you suck.
It's always that you just haven't done enough. There is nobody who has put out 5,000 podcast episodes who hasn't built a big podcasting business. It just doesn't exist. There's not a single example of it on this planet.
So that's all. So all you have to do is keep doing it.
Yes. And
see, that sounds too simple to me right now.
Life is not complicated.
I believe you, but
life is not complicated. Insane. Life is hard work, but it's not complicated work.
So why can't everyone accomplish it? Why doesn't everyone get to 10 episodes?
But they can. That's what's crazy. They can.
So you agree with this yourself too? Because there's a billion meme accounts.
By the way, we know a lot of creators. Like when you're in a space, you kind of like start to know people, and like it's all the same. It's not like none of our creator friends. Who's our biggest creator friends? I'm trying to think. Like Grow with Joe is big, and I'm trying to think who else. Valeria. She's been doing it for how long? 10 years plus? 6, 7.
Joe grew to like 5 or 6 million in like 4 years.
But still, a ridiculous amount of content and iterating through different content styles. So yeah, some people will hit it in 4 years, some people will hit it in 10. But most people are giving up at month 6.
But that's the reason they failed.
That's the reason they failed. Now, I mean,
this is mind blowing because you're making it seem like just keep doing it is gonna like work every time.
It will.
Wow.
It will. Because it's okay.
That's insane.
When you first start, the content's going to suck. Always.
Yeah.
That's no matter who you are or how smart you are.
Go ahead.
The content's going to, this looks like hot.
That's goat milk.
But candy and pecan. Oh, never mind. I'm just a pussy.
Well.
Unless it's like goat milk from hell.
No. Again, I want him to like South Texas, guys. I
do like South Texas.
Okay, yeah, I know.
This is one of the more fun podcasts I've been on because I'm eating all this random food.
I realized that after I went to the store. You know, I should have like. I guess I liked him a little too much when I was shopping in my mind. I wanted to.
Do you have cake anywhere?
No, we don't have cake. No.
Okay, next time.
That's too boring, man.
I know, but now I know that like
We have watermelon.
I know, too much. It's also delicious.
Yes, he likes it all, man, dude.
It's just like it's like such a nice little
Dude,
dessert.
thank you, man. Thank you. I wouldn't be offended if you didn't, but that's insane that you do because the odds
Really
of that
good.
are very, very low that you're gonna like everything. Like just statistically, not you, but like
Oh yeah.
he's all like,
Yeah, like what? Why?
face, like, what did I do? No, like it's just not.
The only
common.
thing that I think is
You're not-
weird.
is he a picky eater? He's not.
No,
That was she said no so fast.
I'm not a picky
That was a
eater.
quick answer. Like you eat everything.
I have a very fat personality.
He didn't know what he was having for dinner. Wait, what? A fat
I like
personality.
food. I love food.
He loves
I
food.
love food.
So then why don't you make food content? Is it because it's low hanging fruit and it's too easy?
No, it's not actually. I've thought about making food content, but I really like what I do better.
Oh, there we go. That's the answer.
Like I don't need to like. I mean, I like playing hockey just to reinforce another Canadian stereotype. I don't.
Do you really?
Yeah,
That's cool, man.
but I don't make hockey content.
Okay, this is the last thing. This is the last thing that I'm going to ask you about.
Unless
'cause
you have more food, we keep going.
I've taken a lot of his time, and he's flying out tomorrow morning. I want to ask you this, right? So, content creators, podcasters, people that are starting YouTube channels, record store owners, whatever it is. The reason you haven't succeeded is because you haven't kept going, right? So you need to keep going.
Well, it's also important. A couple other ideas to add on to that.
Okay.
You have to set up your life so that you can keep going.
That's okay. That's my next question. This guy is really good, man. Somebody's feeding him good stuff, man. I don't know.
You are, bro.
Somebody's feeding him some good
This
stuff.
is like I
By
have
the way,
so much-
Mom, I didn't tell him to eat the other stuff with a fork. Okay, and for all my aunts and uncles watch.
Oh, is this insulting?
I don't know if it's. I mean, you're not insulting me, but you know,
Who am I insulting?
Mom, he just ate it with a fork right now. I don't even.
So you're telling me
I never
you have
even-
a
I
hard
don't tell
line
my
on
mama-
plates but no forks?
This is my last question for you. So Scott Clary just told me that he's posting like 30 to 40 pieces of content a day. The reason the most famous, most successful, influential content creators are at that level is because they kept doing it. So then, when do I quit my job, or how do I have a job?
How do you have a job?
Yeah, like how do I like? Because we still live in real life, right? So like,
No, but I'm not saying that you start with 40 pieces of content per day and a full team if you have no money to put into a team and no time. You start baby steps. And go read Atomic Habits by James Clear. Go get 1% better every single day. Go post one piece of content and keep up and set a cadence to posting content that you can actually keep. That is the most important idea. So if you want to post one podcast a month, post one podcast a month. And then you'll start to see what works and what doesn't. And then you'll find some more time. And when you start to gain mastery, meaning you get good at that thing, then you're going to want to post more. And then you're going to get an advertiser and it's going to get you excited. And you're going to find yourself becoming passionate about that thing because you're getting much better at it. But you are not setting up your life so that you are overextending yourself with your content and you are burning out and you are hating it and you just like resent showing up and recording.
and that's the people that always stop.
So this is the issue. This is why I have such a big issue with like hustle culture, quit your job, go all in, burn the boats, because I know for a fact if you do this podcast for 10 years and you're a smart person and you learn from your mistakes and you get a little bit better every single time and you ask slightly better questions and you sort of like change the editing style, you get a better hook at the beginning. If you do that for 10 years, you'll end up with a very successful podcast and you'll get a little bit of money from advertisers and local businesses and you'll upgrade your studio and you'll upgrade your equipment and you'll be able to hire someone. Like time compounds all efforts. So if you stay in the game long enough, if you give yourself enough time, you will learn, you will improve, you will iterate, and ultimately you'll end up with something that doesn't even look like what you started with. But it will grow and mature into something that is incredibly successful if you can stay in the game. If creating content doesn't stress you out, it doesn't burden you financially. It doesn't, and this is not just content, it's building a business, whatever. We have a friend here who has a record store, right?
Far Out Records, shout out Far Out Records in Far, Texas. It's
So-
pretty clever. Far, Texas is the name of the city.
I like that. That's actually a dope name for a record store.
Far Out, you know, it's far
Far
out.
Out.
Far Out, man.
But if he figures out, if he's, I think, a co-owner with this record store and he wants to grow it and he's not getting the sales that he wants, okay, So next week he's going to learn a little bit more about content. He's going to try a piece of content. Maybe it doesn't work out week 1. Maybe week 15 he finds a piece of content that hits and he finds a style that hits. And then he's going to be like, okay, so how else do I get people to walk into my store? Maybe he starts to collab with some bigger artists because now his Instagram page is getting some notoriety and fame, and some artists notice and they're in town and they want to go and they do like a little pop-up in his record store, or whatever, do like a little like session in his record store. And then he's like, hey, what else can I do? So maybe I realize that when people search record store, where's the location, whatever location it's in, and they Google that, and his record store shows up, but there's like another one or two, and the other one, say, let's pretend, has more Google reviews. Well, okay, so now he's going to start asking people who come into his record store to leave a Google review. And then over 6 months, he's going to have 60 Google reviews, and he's going to be the number one search for anybody searching for a record store within, like, I don't know, a 50-mile radius. And maybe he even realizes that when he drives people to do Google reviews, it is so beneficial. He's offering people like 5% off their record purchase if they leave a Google review on the spot before they check out. You start to just take action, test things, learn, and over time, all that stuff adds up to like a wildly successful end result. But you have to find a way to stay in the game long enough. So if he got this record store, if rent's too high, if he quit his job, if there's no customers, and he can't afford to like put food on the table, that's why you fail. Not because you couldn't figure it out, because you didn't set yourself up for success. You didn't set yourself up and you didn't think long term.
Okay, so just keep pushing like that. That's probably like,
but that's
the bottom line, right?
It's like, it's so like, again,
it seems
success,
too simple though.
But it's very simple.
Yeah,
life is very simple. But these are just rules that apply to anything. You want to look a certain way. What you want to physically look. You want to like lose some weight. You want to go into the gym. You want to be jacked. Whatever. Okay, you work out for 10 years. You're going to look pretty damn good. You want to have a successful marriage. Like, okay, so it's going to take more than 10 years. You want to be with somebody. You want to build a life. You want to have a family. You want to have kids. Well, it probably helps if you don't keep dumping them and dating somebody new, because that's not really going to lead to a successful marriage. It's just time in the game, but everybody's so short-sighted. Everybody has the attention span of like a flea. I don't even know what their attention span is, but I assume it's not very short, considering your life is not very short. So you just want this immediate gratification, immediate satisfaction. When you don't get it, you give up. And I think that we're getting even worse, and we're moving in the wrong direction. And everything in social media, everything in our life is just like, is making us feel like we deserve success, or we deserve the achievement immediately. And that is not the case. That is not reality. But if we reframe, we live in one of the most incredible times in history, where we have access to the tools, technology, the resources to make literally anything possible with no barrier to entry, no gatekeepers, minimal cost. All it takes is time and energy and attention and learning and failing and learning from failures. And if we just leverage all the tools and the resources and we just adopt the right mindset, you can literally do anything. There's no more gatekeepers. There's no more costs to start something. You want to be a podcaster, you want to write a book, you can self-publish. You want to be a podcaster, you go get this, this audio mixer and 2 microphones. You want to build a business, you don't even need to hire people now. Now you can use AI for like 98% of the things that can help you build a business, and the other 10% you research how to do on your own with YouTube, which is also free. Like, there's zero excuse, but people don't want to hear that, because it means that they're accountable for their own success or failure. That's a very hard thing for people to come to terms with.
Thank you, man. That last part was, I'm going to have to chew on that for a little bit. That probably is what it comes down to also. Because now they have nothing to like, there's no more crutch, right?
There's no more crutch. So this is new. This is a new phenomenon. Like, if you wanted to be a radio personality, you would have to work your way up through a station with a broadcaster. Somebody would have to hire you after X amount of years, putting in the work for a company, and say like, hey, now this is your shot. Go be on-air talent. You don't need that anymore. I don't need to wait for Penguin Random House and Simon Schuster and Wiley and all these other companies or all these other publishers to write a book. Alex Hormozi just had one of the highest grossing book launches ever, selling over $100 million of his, I think, Money Models or whatever it is book. And that's a self-published book. He just,
on his own.
On his own. Now, don't get me wrong, there's resources behind him, but he didn't have to go through the traditional gatekeepers.
Yeah. He didn't have an agency, and he didn't have to go.
And by the way, there are people with way more resources than Alex Hormozi that still go through traditional gatekeepers who sell a fraction of the books that he sold. Why is that? It's because they didn't learn the skills. They don't understand attention. They don't understand modern media, modern marketing. And you could have a billionaire that writes a book that flops. You could have Alex Hormozi, who's successful, but he's not a billionaire, who writes a book and sells, like, literally, I think, if I'm not mistaken, like the most or the second most book sales for a launch in history. There's no excuses anymore.
I like how you make it so black and white, man. Like,
because what else is there?
Yeah.
You can lie to yourself all day, but what's that going to accomplish?
and this is, and you're speaking from experience. This is what you did.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's...
But it's not, but I don't want to pretend that it's easy.
Yeah.
Putting 10 years or something in isn't easy. It's a lot of hard work. I work my ass off for sure every single day. But again, I only have to win once in life. I only have to build one thing that's successful. I don't need to build like 25 companies in my life. I don't need to build 25 different successful podcasts. I got to figure out one. That's it.
This is the part where everybody claps, but we're not going to do it because it's bad for audio. But dude, that was really good, man.
I believe it.
This is one of the best conversations I've had in a long time.
I'm glad.
Well, man, I really appreciate you coming down to the Rio Grande Valley, honestly.
I appreciate the hospitality and the food and bringing me into your house and just everything. So thank you.